of the Wild Wild West. Dusty and Tommy Gazzola with you right here on the Oil Stream. YouTube Trev's running in here as quickly as he possibly can. Everything okay, Trev? Okay, look at Trev. He's very nervous Nelly right now.
What did you do?
Trevor, you okay?
What did you do,
okay.
Trevor?
Yeah, no, we're good, Trev. We're good. Oh, wow, you scared me. All right, it is the Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. Celebrate your holidays at Boston Pizza. They got that new holiday menu available at all Boston Pizza locations. Tommy will be back at Westgate Boston Pizza tomorrow. You were there on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And overall, I just have to say, it looks like it's a pretty good time there at Westgate.
Curtis and Tony have it set up really good.
Tony!
Great pricing. We're at Hudson's on Bourbon Friday. Always great to be there as well. Got to shout out Adam and Steve.
That place looked like it was hopping on Friday.
It was so loud in there. And Christmas parties were like the after party from Christmas parties sprinkled into Hudson's. And the girls were dancing. They were looking nice. And then there's some dudes dancing too, but they were mostly just watching the girls dance.
Yeah, probably. That's usually how dancing works, Tommy.
Yeah. Except, you don't like to get in there. You like to two-step.
I love dancing. I like dancing.
A little two-step.
I like dancing. I'm a dancing boy.
You're a dancing boy. And then BP, which we're going to be at again tomorrow, they had a jersey, an away jersey giveaway. We had their last Heritage Classic hoodie, which if you watch and listen to the pregame show, you get rewarded because I think it was a listener won, maybe a viewer, but
perfect.
Won a Heritage Classic hoodie, and then a bunch of prizes. A record player Tube Socks actually won the record
I saw
player.
him behind you getting the record player and leaving.
Yeah. So that was our second jersey we gave away. We've given away a ton of hoodies. We gave away a couple of football jerseys earlier in the year, and Tony and Curtis have great prizes. So we're back there tomorrow for pre and post game. It's a lot of fun, and they have game day specials like $5 off medium pizzas, $1 off Molson and Coors products. So. Really good time. So we're going to do it again tomorrow.
All right, coming up on the Oil Stream today, we will have Keep It or Clip It for Tommy Guns. We've got Popeyes spicy headlines.
Yeah, we do.
As well. We got lots to get to coming out of the games over the weekend as well. But hey, we got to start. We just had it right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I think the entire office is pretty fired up watching Mark Killam. And we've got a great relationship with the Elks. I want to see that team have success.
Sure. Yes.
Killam had me fired up. I have multiple people. There was people in the chat. I had a couple buddies text me, and they're like, "This is a Dan Campbell vibe." Like,
I said that to you.
You said it too. You must have been one of the buddies.
Hey,
that's 3 for 3. Like they've had 3 press conferences in the last 3.5-4 weeks, and all 3 of them, Chris Morris, Ed Hervey, and Mark Killam, are not lacking in passion for this organization. I was fired up. I was holding the football when I got in here. I don't even know where it went.
You did. I think you cried.
I didn't cry, but Mark Killam did a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
I got a lot of time for that.
Well, good.
I love crying. I'm an emotional guy.
He referenced...
Nanso, can you just toss me that blue mouse? For some reason, it's over there. I can handle some stuff.
He referenced applying for the job in years past
and not getting it.
That was... I think there's some emotion that comes with that. And he talked about his connections to the city. He talked about his view of the city, what it is, and what this team means to it. I think he was bang on in those statements. And, the Dan Campbell connection type of thing, that's why I brought it up. I'm like, this guy is fired up. And now it's time to go to work. 3 pillars are in place. I appreciate him talking about the synergy with Ed and Chris. That's going to have to be important. All 3 guys on the same page, and then ultimately pleasing the owners. And then the fan base is number 1, obviously. But a lot to like in these past 4 weeks, let's call it, when it comes to the green and gold. Now they pull up their sleeves and they get to work. Put on their
I know that you got to deliver wins. And I know some people will never buy names, or never buy tickets because of the name. I get it. But,
yeah, sure.
But I think that's kind of lame. But I get it. But I have to think that what football fans who may have been on the fence have seen from Morris, Hervey, and Killam, you're going to be renewing or rebuying season tickets based on their passion alone and the fact that Elks season tickets are very reasonably priced.
They are very reasonably priced.
positive step in the right direction for the organization once again. Evan Dom, who you would have seen on the availability in the suit and tie, and I was joking with the boys. I've carried this guy like a baby at parties, like a little baby.
Great
Evan Dom.
singing voice.
He likes to go.
He loves singing karaoke.
When Dahmer gets set loose, he is not the old suit and tie guy that you saw on the station a couple minutes ago.
Voice like an angel.
What a beauty. I think he was doing color on Golden Bears hockey over the weekend. So he's committed to the city. You know, you love seeing that. I can't even remember what the point. Oh, no, he texted me this morning, and he said, both coaches, Knobloch and Killam, were at the U of A at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's only one man who was there when both of them were there and led them in the right direction to where they are today. And I'm very surprised that Killam also didn't credit this man, Bob Stauffer, the SID, when those guys were there.
Yeah.
And now they're both head coaches in this city?
Yeah.
What's the one connection?
Oh, my God. Conspiracy theory.
How about that?
Well, it's good. It's good that the head coach of the Elks, the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, and the wannabe head coach or GM of the Edmonton Oilers are all Golden Bears.
Just so you know, Stop, I didn't say that. Tommy said that. You can deal with him.
He wants to be.
I don't want that phone call.
That's okay. You can.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people in the city want to be the GM
you're
of the
right.
Edmonton
I
Oilers,
want to
right?
be in hockey ops. I'll be like, yes, you've told me this numerous times over the last 14 years that we've known each other.
All right, if you were listening to the Elks presser right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, feel free to chime in. Reed Wilkins going to come back from the presser, and I think we're going to have him on here. Of course, he'll be on the Reed Wilkins Show 3 to 6 a little bit later on today. Lots to get to on the Edmonton Oilers, though, and boy, we'll get to the spicy headlines. We'll get to keep it or clip it, but what a performance against the Colorado Avalanche.
Very good win.
I popped in, caught a little bit of the post game, but it was bedtime for old Dusty. Well, how the post? I mean, people must have been pretty happy. Post-game Saturday night,
a lot of people telling me how good Pod Colson is, and great to see him.
Goals
score.
in 3 games.
That's right. Good, very good. I like this. This is nice.
Top 6 rest of season.
Clip it. But this is a good thing, and let's ride it out. Let's see how it goes. If it can be sustainable for a month, 2 months. Rest of the season, fantastic. I would call that depth scoring. And then Kapanen converting the other night was good. He's got 2 points in his last 2 games. He's played 3 games as an Oiler. He's amalgamated himself well. I think you and Eric with Rashog from Got Your Back podcast made a good point. Like, maybe he spells off a Derek Ryan and a Corey Perry at some point. Probably Derek Ryan first. If he can be consistent with his play, I think that's better. He's bigger than Ryan, skates better than Ryan. I like the very small sample size we've gotten from Kasperi Kapanen. Stu Skinner robbed Nathan McKinnon a whole bunch of times. There was that one partial break McKinnon had where he lost the handle of it, but he got
that other one between the legs, that shot, high riser, boom.
Yep.
No big deal.
Exactly. So Stu Skinner is starting to round into form,
but some people still think he should have stopped the goal. Don't even get me started.
I had to go back because
did you scroll back?
I got up right when you were coming off the rant, and I was like, "Oh, what's he talking about?" So I had to go back and watch it.
Justified, right?
You nailed it on the
Come
head.
on.
Nailed it on the head, man. Defense, satisfactory, and that's a passing grade. That's good. There's elements of this team's game that are rounding into form. They're a team, I think, what do they have? 7 wins in their last 11 games. Lots of good indicators so far in the last, I'd say 4 weeks for this Edmonton Oilers club. And I think they're getting back to where they should be. Is it perfect? Is it spotty in some areas? 100%. Will they need to upgrade the roster and the defense? 100%. But they're getting wins. They're finding ways. Are they perfect wins? Nope. Especially that game against Utah. First period was not good. They woke up. The Leon Draisaitl had to say something in the first intermission.
Against Utah?
Against Utah. Yeah. And then they go into Colorado, a team that's given them fits and a building that's been tough to them in recent years. And they go out with a convincing victory, just with a solid performance. And did they take advantage of an Avs team that's kind of been hit or miss? Although the Avs have been playing better lately, despite Georgiev's struggles in the trade for Wedgwood. But Edmonton went in there and took advantage. And they played solid. And they, I think, instilled confidence in the fan base. And Now let's see if they can continue to build on that tomorrow night against the Vegas Golden Knights team that's playing really well. But you win against Vegas tomorrow, Dusty, and you're right there. You're kind of reeling them in a little bit. So a lot to like from the Oilers this past weekend.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Ernie is pointing out that they've never lost a game when Podkolzin has scored. 3-0 in Podkolzin scores games. So keep him in the top
Aim
6.
low and achieve. Hey, Ernie?
Hey, all right, over on the Nasty Chat. Well, lots of comments over there. Keep those coming in. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great. We'll get to your Popeye spicy headlines in a second, but let's get to a couple of texts. Library Pat texts and says, guys, what chance does Stuart Skinner have to be named to Team Canada on Wednesday? He is trending up. We discussed this with Rashog this morning. Rashog, I asked him, I said, who do you think outside of McDavid? And he said, Stuart Skinner, projecting out that he gets playing better, and in a month and a half, he's playing really well, and you want him on the team. His last 4 starts stopped 27-29, 5-2 win over Ottawa, 9-31. Got lit up by the Minnesota Wild, and 8-08 took the L. And then his last 2 games was a net against the Rangers, stopped 32-34 for a 9-41, and then stopped 27-28 against Colorado for a 9-64. So his game, before that 4-game stretch, he had 3 straight games, 864 or lower. So, I mean, there's been some inconsistencies in his game right now. He did accomplish this over the weekend. Stuart Skinner becoming the 7th goaltender in franchise history with 80 career wins. And I believe the 3rd fastest behind Grant Fuhr and Andy Moog, which is pretty impressive as well. Yep. Your thoughts on Skinner getting that number 3 spot? And I know look, we're Canada. It's a hockey event. The number 3 spot, if Binnington or Aiden Hill, who are apparently the top 2 guys, odds are the 3rd guy's not going to play. You're just going to be there. So it might not mean much in the end. But the Skinner to put on Team Canada jersey, I think he'd have to be pretty fired up about it. But do you think he becomes the 3rd guy on this team?
I don't know. I don't feel like he will be. Like, I know Library Pat was asking, like, what percentage. I put it like 30%. I think a lot of the noise, a lot of it coming out of Edmonton and the fan base, and people notice that stuff, is a detractor for Skinner. And there are other guys who have risen, Logan Thompson being one of them. I know Cam Talbot's name popped up, but Montembeault, I think, is out of the picture. I think if Jim Nill, Don Sweeney, and Doug Armstrong are not honing in on the first 25 games of the season specifically, and it's just one reference point, but they're looking more so at the body of work over the last, let's call it 2 seasons, then I say Skinner has a better chance, like a 65% chance of being the 3rd string goalie for Team Canada. But if they're going off of recency bias and this year alone, then I think a Logan Thompson makes it, or maybe even a Talbs gets in there. And you're right, they would be the 3rd stringer. They would be the Mike Smith, who is an Olympic gold medalist. We forget that. And that's okay. But yeah, the other 2 guys have won Stanley Cups, have had better seasons average-wise than Stu Skinner. And I think you could make a case for some other guys. I think the only Oiler that plays on Team Canada is Connor McDavid.
You think so?
I think Hyman hasn't done enough to be on there. I don't think Evan Bouchard has done anything near enough to be on there. And I think Stu Skinner maybe just lost out.
And this is now the teams are already in. This will be announced on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Drager is funny. Drager today, you could almost sense a little bit of frustration. He's like, in the past, I've been able to get my hands on these teams. He goes, but Canada has it locked down pretty good right now.
And
so
the NHL probably too.
I still have a feeling some of this stuff is going to get leaked probably tomorrow,
Probably.
but we'll see. Also, over the weekend, Connor McDavid, most points in a center's first 10 seasons. Wayne Gretzky, 1,837. Mario Lemieux, 1,211. Marcel Dion, 1063. Stastny, 1059. Yzerman, 1040. Trottier, 1019. Dale Hawerchuk, rest in peace, 1018. Connor McDavid, now tied with Denny Savard. Shout out Denny Savard.
Yeah.
Being on his list.
Great player.
With 1,013. He's 5 behind Hawerchuk, gets him this year. 6 behind Trottier, gets him this year. 27 behind Yzerman, tracks him down.
Mm-hmm.
27 plus 19.
56.
40, 46.
Sorry.
46.
I'm not good at math either, dude.
We stared at each other. You said 56. I was like, that's way too big a number. I think it's 46.
Don't throw math at me.
So he tracked Stastny down this year. And I think he's going to track down Marcel Dion as well.
Yeah.
So I think because he's 50 points away from Marcel Dion. So he's going to get 50 points the rest of it.
Yeah.
So by the end of this season, the only two centers who would have had more points than Connor McDavid in the first 10 years of his career, Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. And that's why you get into the conversation of being one of the greatest of all time.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely insane.
And then some. Win a cup. Legacy cemented forever.
Jared says, guys, was that Gretzky number already the all-time record? No, but it was close. 1837. What was it? 1851? Like the all-time scoring record when he took it away from Gordy? Like he almost had it in the first 10 years.
801 was the goal.
That was the goal. But I'm pretty sure it was 18. How many Gordie Howe points do you have? I thought it was 18.
He scored that goal in Edmonton.
Yeah, the backhander. I thought it was 1851, but I could be wrong.
Hang on, just Gordie Howe.
Yeah, it's Gordie Howe at 1850. So Wayne was 1851. So yeah, he almost had that in his first 10 seasons, become the all-time leading scorer. I mean, it's okay if you like offense.
Yeah,
I guess.
But crazy that McDavid's doing it. But offense it's prevalent in the NHL. And Gretzky, what do they consider the dead puck era? Is it mid-90s?
I think that starts just after the mid-90s.
So Wayne would have had just a couple.
Wayne caught probably the tail end of that.
Yeah, exactly. So he played in a time of a lot of high-scoring games. Because in the 90s...
probably from like 96, 97 to the lockout.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then in the lockout, they changed some of the rules, and Ovi and Sid came and were putting up 100 points as a rookie. And
Ron Tugnutt had a sub to GAA the one year, and Hasek was putting up stupid numbers. That was an era of great goaltending and the left wing lock and trap, which sucked. It was Detroit playing left wing lock, New Jersey straight Minnesota
up
playing the trap, and a few other teams.
Gross. Don't like it.
No, thank you.
Before we get to the Popeyes spicy headlines, we got some pretty funny things to discuss, and keep it or clip it. And then Reed Wilkins is going to join us here today on the Oil Stream as well. We'll talk about the availability for Mark Killam. And did anybody in the media tackle somebody after the event? Because it was so fired. Everybody's so fired up.
Shout out to Jay Milne, okay, for a couple of things. Front row center. First questions coming from our boys. Glue guy, crushing it. Well done, sir. Not bad for a former football player turned broadcaster. Reed Wilkins has done it in the last couple of big press conferences for the Elks. Jay also he was the first one to break that Killam looked like he was the leading candidate.
On Thursday, I think.
Yeah, and was it Farhan that said it was, but Killam had the option between BC and Edmonton, took Edmonton.
Mention that.
That's good thing worth noting. I just want to give Jay credit because he is as dialed in as anyone when it comes to football in this city and this province. That's why he's our glue guy. That's why he's been a huge addition. And if you don't follow him, please do, especially if you're a huge football fan.
And make sure you tune in today on the Reed Wilkins Show as Reed and Jay will have a present to open.
That's
this
a very
afternoon.
nice present.
Yeah, very nice present. Text of the day today came from La Bamba guy, and because people were guessing what it was, and he says it's the CFL tampering window. Right? It's a window for
that
CFL
doesn't
tampering.
happen. Are you kidding me?
I think that's terrific. Hey, when Hyman returns, what's the lineup look like? Because he could be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he could be back tomorrow. They're talking about that. Victor Arvidsson, by the way, I tried asking. I got shown the door when I asked.
They just said,
don't ask. So I don't know what to make
So this
of
is
that.
not anytime soon. If they're like, don't
I don't
ask.
know. It was.
I mean, if it was going to be soon, they'd be like,
information.
Be close.
Yeah,
like,
Hey, don't worry. You'll be
Yeah.
back. I was just told for the safety of their jobs. They're like,
oh boy,
leave it alone.
Huh.
I was like, what the hell does that mean?
All right. So, it means something like it's not good.
Yeah, that's kind of how I interpreted it.
All right.
Hyman comes back. What line are you? Well, I think Connor Brown's the easy one to punt off the top six.
So would you put Hyman back with McDavid, or you leave Kapanen in there?
Kapanen for one more.
Yes.
Let this thing run its course,
and then just throw Hyman back with Draisaitl and Park-Holzen.
Yeah, exactly. And that line, I mean, that's a tough line. Those guys work
hard in the corners. Those two guys.
They play big boy hockey. All three of those guys. Connor Brown can go back to.
I fully agree with
third line, and then again ride out the Kapanen thing, and then see where you're at in a couple games. And if Kapanen continues to produce and play well, and 5-on-5, then just leave him up there for the time being. You can eventually get Hyman back up to Connor's line, no problem. And I'm sure that will eventually happen. Just kind of ride the hot hand for a little bit. And Derek Ryan and Corey Perry are the two guys that, well, Drake Gazzola too, obviously, that you look at and you go, well, you can sit those guys out. Perry's had a good year. I'd look at Gazzola, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Ryan, if he's the 13th forward, I think that's probably ideal.
If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just tell your friends how easy it is. Or if you're listening to the podcast later on, tell your friends how easy it is to listen to all of our live content every single day from 6 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon here on Edmonton Sports Talk, and then obviously pre- and post games to follow. Kevin from the Bergman Hood says, great CFL content today. Yeah, we're happy to do that. CFL flies on the radar in a lot of other markets.
Sad.
Flies on the radar in other places in this city. We will not allow that. We all love the CFL here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Absolutely love it.
You guys had great content on the Hangout today with CFL.
An hour and 10 minutes.
My God, I was just eating it up.
Murray's heavily invested in the Elks, Eskimos. Maddie and myself, obviously. Maddie doing pre and post with Jay. I have the good fortune of getting to do sidelines with you and Suits, my colleague and acquaintance.
Oh, that's nice. It's such a great league, man.
Yeah,
it just is.
And
it's good bang for your buck.
Can I say one thing just on the whole? Like, I don't like the CFL. It's not as good as
Careful,
the NFL.
don't get me fired up.
I'm just going to say one thing on, if you think that way, I'll just say this. It's okay to like both leagues. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I love both leagues.
Yeah.
I'm fully invested in football in general.
Yeah, but people are like, oh, that's not good. The CFL players, they're not as good. NFL players, if they get cut and come here, like, damn, this league's good.
Yeah, and a lot of them get cut there and come here and also get cut.
That's right.
Like, everybody thinks like every guy who's had a shot in the NFL walks in as a starter in the CFL.
Yeah.
There are many guys who get cut from the NFL come up here and get cut as well.
I hate that.
The CFL, the minor leagues.
All right, we don't need to get into it.
That is exactly how they sound.
Not today. Not today.
Not today. Today's a good
over
day.
in the Nasty Chat, if you're watching on YouTube, I think the thumbs up button is probably broken because there's over 200 people watching and we got 37 likes. Come on, what is this?
I want to get changing 100.
Your thumbs are broken?
Yeah.
Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube today. Where else was it going to go? There was one more place I wanted to go before we got into the Popeye Spicy headlines. Can't remember. It's okay. Might come back around to it. All right, let's go. Popeye Spicy headlines. Actually, I got an email on a little deal I do believe they have firing up. I'll get to that as we work our way through this thing. Trying to think what the name of the email, who the email came from. Anyway, we'll track it down. Bo Akey.
Yes.
WJC camp invite. Some pretty good names left off the list as well.
Sam O'Reilly left off the list.
Well, and some better players than Sam O'Reilly left off the list too. Like there were some pretty good players that I think many people were very surprised didn't make it to camp, but Bo Akey did. So continuing to trend. Another little checkbox ticked. Whether he makes the team or not, I think you have to be pretty pleased with where this guy's heading.
Yeah, and I know he's dealt with injury. He was a bit nicked up even in training camp. I think it's a good sign, especially for Oiler fans that aren't not paying a lot of attention to guys that are still in junior that have been drafted. But it's a good reminder. It's like, hey, he's on Team Canada's radar for World Juniors. That's important. For Sam O'Reilly, you would like to see him get an invite there, but. We'll see how it goes. Maybe next year. Who knows? But Bo Akey is the reminder that there is a bit of or the cupboards aren't completely bare, but there's still there's like that box of KD in the back that you forgot about. And it's like, oh yeah, it's good stuff. Let's see how it goes. But yeah,
I really don't like to have KD unless I also have wieners in the fridge. I'm a huge KD and wieners guy, right? I just don't like having KD. I like KD, but I don't want to have it by itself. I like to really, really want to have it with wieners. Sorry, I got distracted on the KD reference there. But
do you put ketchup in your KD?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't?
No.
Really?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce?
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I'm not going to criticize you for it.
I put it in
I've heard about
with the noodles before the milk and the cheese mix.
What?
Yeah.
It's not a after everything's ready edition?
No.
Oh, so you're mixing it into the ingredients.
That's right.
I'm using ketchup as a condiment.
That's right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you are a strange dude, Tom Gazzola. You're a strange guy.
Yes. Anyway,
here-
good to see both.
Yeah, no, I mean, very positive for him. Now, should we right now, and this is not to slight the player, 16 points in 22 games this year. He's a +9. It's not like numbers that light the world on fire, but obviously the scouts for Hockey Canada really like what they see in this guy, right?
Yeah.
So, I'll just ask the question. Should Oilers fans view him as big part of the future or piece that can get traded at the deadline that carries good value?
I'm partial to part of the future.
Yeah.
Because you're going to,
I just
you're
think
going
they're
to need
running
a
out of
right-shot
things
guy.
to trade away at the deadline. And
Yeah.
if you're sitting there and somebody gives you, let's say Mike Matheson. You can trade for Mike Matheson. And they're like, yeah, we're going to require Bo Akey and some sort of pick compensation. What do? Matheson can come in, play both sides, play your top four.
How old's Matheson
help you now. He's got another year left after this year. I'm only kind of viewing it as the next. I'm not even.
And this is a hypothetical.
Oh yeah, I'm just spitball. I just randomly picked the name. He's 30. He's got this year and another year on his contract, so you get him for 2 cup runs. Is that how you would view Akey, or is it like nope, not for that guy?
I don't think you could be like, hey, non-starter, we're not trading this
No,
guy.
I would agree. I guess I'm trying to think of like what
If the
caliber of defenseman would have. Like, do you need a guy who signed for 3 or 4 years that you can go and kind of get your hands on, or Akey gets in if they can sign Rasmus Anderson to an extent, like that type of thing, or is
if
he?
it's the right type of upgrade and it has a little bit more than just like a rental, then I think it eases the blow if you were to go that route. But I think
I don't think I'd move him for a rental, but I am fully in on trading whatever pieces you have to trade to help your team win a cup right now. And if that means you move him, I know, look, there will always be people who come back in 5 years and be like, look at this. The same with like Kesselring, right?
Right.
Traded that guy for a rental of Nick Bukestad.
11 points going into the weekend.
Yeah, like
in
I can't.
22 games.
I don't think you can move Akey for a rental, but if you can get a defenseman, just the example here is Matheson. I'm not saying it has to be him, but if you can get a defenseman that's under contract for next year as well, and you get a couple of runs at it with this group, especially if you move for him like in the next 3-4 weeks, I think I could be convinced.
If you could pull off what Minnesota did to get Juracek, where you give away kind of like what would Damon Hunt be considered? Because he was like a third rounder.
He was a third rounder. I mean,
the first, second, third.
He's already
fourth.
played in the NHL a little bit. He's probably a little bit. I don't know if his
Max
upside.
Warner, get him out of here.
And a first and a second, and a third and a fourth though.
You better be getting a good defenseman or one with a ton of potential right back. I'm just saying.
I want to see somebody do what I do in like fantasy leagues and trade all your picks in 1 year.
Well, that's the
Just you're
Vegas
all
Golden
in.
Knights.
Screw it. Save
That's
money on going to
essentially
the
what they
draft
do.
and everything. Like
Yeah.
that would be that'd be okay. Anyway, congratulations to Bo Akey. World Junior Camp invite, and we'll see where this goes. Easy, he says Akey will be good, so don't send him for rental. That's what he said. No, no rental. No rental, I don't think, for him. If you're watching, I think we got 100 likes in us today here over on YouTube.
should.
If you're watching on YouTube right now, what are we at? 68, 32.
We're getting there.
32 more likes. Smash that up. Mike from Calgary says, cook your KD noodles in the hot dog water for the win. Never heard of that in my life, but I'm intrigued.
Cook KD in which?
So you boil the hot dogs, then you use the boiled hot dog water for your craft dinner.
This.
I've never even heard of it, but I think I like that idea.
I've heard it's good.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, I got to try it just to see how different it is, I guess.
Have that hot dog water.
Yeah.
I don't like boiled hot dogs. I remember UConn did the boilies.
Boilies, yeah.
No.
I don't mind boiled hot dogs, actually.
Get those things on a grill.
Grew up on boiled hot dogs. Popeyes, here we go. This is what I was looking for. As of today, they're launching the Festive Family Box. God, this warms my heart for families. 4-piece signature chicken, 4 tendies, 4 regular sides, 4 biscuits, with an option for a 4-drink bundle upcharge. Holy smokes. 4 pieces of chicken, 4 tendies, 4 regular sides. You get the 4 biscuits, and you could add the drinks if you would want. $30 in store.
That's
36 with the drinks. meals for 4.
That's pretty damn good.
Holy smokes.
Pretty damn good.
Also, in the next few weeks, they'll be launching a new $4 value menu. Shoot me, I'm dead.
Look out.
$4 value. I'll tell you right
out.
now. If we get 200 likes today, I'm going to go and eat some Popeyes. Let's do it. Hammer the thumbs up. I'll sacrifice it for all of you. Here's the other headline. What's up with this Jeff Skinner $2,000 fine for multiple embellishments?
Yes, and they had to review it over the course of a week.
Yeah, because it was against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then another one.
Yeah.
The Rangers.
Against
was it Minnesota and the Rangers?
Yeah, stop doing that is what the league said.
Like the league just looked at it and said, this guy's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're going to fine him $2,000.
Let me read it here.
Yeah, find the official. Give it to me here.
I have the press
This
release.
is kind of hilarious. I find it funny.
Edmonton Oilers forward Jeff Skinner has been fined $2,000 as supplementary discipline under NHL Rule 64, diving/embellishment, the National Hockey League announced today. NHL Rule 64 is designed to bring attention to and more seriously penalize players and teams who repeatedly dive and embellish in an attempt to draw penalties. Fines are assessed to players and head coaches on a graduated scale outlined below. So he got a warning.
The chirps must hurt so much more than the $2,000.
Today was the $2,000. Next one is worth $3,000. The one after that is worth $4,000. His fifth is a $5,000 fine for him, and then a $2,000 fine for whoever his head coach is. Skinner was issued a warning following an incident flagged by NHL hockey operations during NHL game number 103 versus Carolina on October 22nd. His second citation, which triggered the $2,000 fine, was issued for an incident at the 10:33 mark of the second period during NHL game number 332 versus Nye Rangers on Nov 2-3.
Wow.
The money goes to the players' emergency
I like
fund.
how Knobloch could potentially get fined like he's bloody Gordon Bombay telling Charlie Conroy to take a dive.
Yeah.
And remember Charlie? The stick was up under his
hockey mask,
his cheap hockey mask.
Yeah.
And you could see his eyes and he's looking and then he just kicks the puck out.
Yeah.
And
Charlie.
Bombay lost it.
Yeah.
Man, Joshua Jackson has always had his standards set high, hasn't he?
Right. I mean, good Canadian boy.
Dr. Odyssey.
Dr. Odyssey.
See those commercials
only
going?
on CTV.
It makes me feel old
And
when
Craig.
Charlie Conroy has gray hair.
I know.
God.
He was
Still a
on
handsome
Dawson.
man, though.
Yeah, he's good.
Handsome man. He's Peter Bishop from Fringe for me. Great television show.
What was the thing? Remember when Bombay was teaching them how to dive? Take the fall. Act hurt.
Be indignant.
Be indignant.
Wasn't it be indignant?
I believe so.
Is that the chat?
Yeah.
Well, let's look it up here. Right?
Take the fall.
Take
Act
the fall.
Hurt.
Act hurt. Let me see.
And then like cradling the eggs for the passes.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Who's teaching this? I remember I was that age or even younger, and I was in hockey practice. I'd be like, are we using eggs today, coach? No. What kind of idiot does that? Gordon Bombay.
Yeah, Bombay always did the eggs.
Yeah, the eggs.
I don't know if I can
egg.
find the exact like the diving practice, but anyway, yeah. Take the fall.
Act hurt.
Be indignant.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I'm gonna
Anyway,
look it up.
Jeff Skinner fined a couple grand for being a faker.
I found it.
Did you?
Yeah. Do I play it?
Yeah. Can you put your mic next? If
Sure.
I found it, I could play it on.
Oh, here.
Okay.
You want me to send it to you?
Yeah, send it to me, and then I'll
Okay.
play it on the.
Text or email?
Hey, Nansu, can you come in here and turn up my computer? I'm gonna play some Mighty Ducks clips. Yeah, Tommy, send that over to me, and
text
mix
or
that in.
email.
Send it to me at my Edmonton Sports Talk email.
Okay, I'm doing
Yeah,
that right now.
We'll go there. Look at you texting somebody from your computer, eh?
That's
iMessage
the
is just
power of
crazy,
Mac.
yeah.
That's the power of
You
Mac.
get there, Trev? Okay, we're gonna. Thank you, Trev. You can just leave it up. We will. We'll get to that as we work our way through this, and we're just having some fun with Jeff Skinner getting fined a couple grand for diving. That's a tough one. Look at YouTube, Trev, just a senior around here, eh?
He was holding
always helping everybody
Manso's
out.
shoulder very cordially there. That was wonderful.
He likes advising
He
others.
does. Yes,
You sent it to me
I sent it to you
from your work email.
from my email, my home.
Send it to my Gmail then. Sometimes our webmail is a little
It's slow.
slow, a little wonky.
Okay, sending it right now.
Ripsy Step says, "Damn it! Now I'm gonna have singing Finns Don't Dive to the tune of Pimps Don't Cry from the other guys all day." Finns don't dive. Finns don't. Nah, man. The Other
Okay,
Guys
sent.
is so good.
Great movie.
Like, come on.
I also
mean,
watched Nice Guys last week with
Yeah, yeah.
Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
I haven't seen that one.
It is fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of The Other Guys. I feel like it always sort of flies under the radar a little bit.
The Other Guys and Nice Guys are, and Nice Guys, a lot of sneaky, quick jokes
Yeah.
that if you're not paying attention, it's like,
Take the fall.
Here we go. Yeah.
Now say it again. Take the fall. Act hurt. Get indignant.
Get
One
indignant.
more time. Take the fall. Act hurt. Get indignant. Good.
damn it, Charlie.
Bombay. What a beauty. God. Oh, that was fun. That was a big sentence. Hey, shout out Jeff Skinner for providing us with some good content from the Mighty Ducks
Appreciate
today.
that. Appreciate that, Jeff.
That's nice to see. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in. Let's get into Tommy Guns. Keep it or clip it today on the oil stream. 780-218-9999.
You got that one?
I got her. It's right here. At Tommy Gunn's Original Barbershop, we believe a great haircut is more than just a quick in and out. It's about the whole experience. That's why we follow the code, a commitment to deliver the best barbershop experience every time you visit. From check-in to finishing touch, every step is crafted with care. No appointments needed. Just walk in, relax, and they will take it from there. Only at Tommy Gunn's.
Nice.
And I got a plan to get a Tommy Gunn's haircut next week. Taking Marshall. I wanted to bring Marshall to Tommy Gunn's, but he's still obsessed with going to Beaners. The little kid place,
Yeah.
because they let him play video games, and I'm just
That's
like,
pretty sweet.
you know what? If there is a place where adults play, like if I went to Tommy Gunn's and like, hey, here's the Xbox controller, I'd be like, slowly take down an inch, very slowly.
Now Awanik's sliding in.
What is Awanik doing over there, Maddie? The show's going fine. Don't ruin anything.
He's not even listening. He's not even
he's not even paying
acknowledging
attention
you.
to us.
Oh, a little sly smile.
It's like we're not even here.
He doesn't care.
All right, let me throw this one at you. Oh my goodness! You do your show. Let me do my thing. Well, you're in here while we're doing our show. What are we supposed to do? Ignore you? Like you're invisible? That's how you want to feel? I will never treat you like you're invisible.
I see you, Matthew. I see you.
All right. Keep it or clip it. Kapanen should stay in the top 6 even when Arvidsson returns.
Clip it. Clip it.
Clip it.
Yeah. I'm tempted to keep it, but let's again go back to what I said earlier. Let's
keeping
ride this out.
I'm going to keep it.
Ride this out. We'll see when Arvidsson comes back, whatever the hell's wrong with him, and eventually he gets back
It
in
sounds
here.
like Kapanen might get some run here, though. Hey,
Keep
right,
playing-
like when
keep
Hyman
doing
comes
what you're
back, just
doing.
slide Brown down. You leave Kapanen up there.
Let him do it, and then eventually, if it dries up, then get Arvidsson back in.
Way back in the chat, and we'll get to some more of your chats. I'm sorry, I've kind of been lacking on the chat content today. But lines when all is healthy. This was from Penner's Pancakes. Evander Kane with McDavid and Hyman. Podkolzin with Draisaitl and Arvidsson. Skinner with Nuge and one of Kapanen or Perry. And then Matthias Janmark, Adam Henrique, and Connor Brown back to the fourth line, which is kind of what they started. They sort of elevated their way through in the playoffs last year. So
Interesting.
I mean, that is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Like as of today, it looks okay.
Yeah. Once Kane's back, whenever that happens. But
You know, and that's still a couple months away, I think. But
you're still shying away from Podkolzin staying in the top 6, aren't you?
yeah, I am.
So I guess you're just saying
My opinion has not changed.
Can't move Nuge out of the top 6. You just keep Nuge on the wing, keep Kane on the wing, Podkolzin slides down.
Yeah. Now,
Problem is then who's center in your third line?
Adam Henrique.
And then you just go with Henrique and with Janmark and Brown.
Yeah.
And then your fourth line is
Perry.
Podkolzin.
Podkolzin and Derek Ryan, I guess.
Derek Ryan's not going to be the fourth line center in the playoffs. I
Shouldn't
just
be.
don't. They got to upgrade somewhere there or elevate somebody. All right, here we go. My boy Marshall should become Buzzcut Kid. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it.
You don't think so?
No. He's got him and his old man. They've got good hair.
He's got decent hair.
Yeah.
But I was a Buzzcut guy myself.
Yeah, but
From the moment I made the grade 9 basketball team and they hazed us by shaving our heads. And I have a nice round head anyway. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
But I just kept it. Like from grade 9 until probably like 23, 24, I was Buzzcut.
I was buzz cut from
You were Buzzcut?
Yeah.
I'll never believe it.
I had it in college.
I almost told you to F off
No joke. And
You
when
had a buzz cut in college.
and when I first got to New Cap TV in Lloydminster, I had a buzz cut.
Where are those tapes?
I
I need to
photos.
reveal buzz cut Tommy
I have
to
a
everybody.
very
like,
round head.
really?
And it was so easy to maintain. And then I was like, I don't know how much longer I have with hair because my dad is basically a cue ball and he lost his pretty young. Thankfully, I
Okay.
still have mine.
What would it take? How many likes would we have to get for you to buzz cut your hair now?
It wouldn't even be negotiable. I already did the damn perm and it cost $12,000, which went to the MS Society, which is great. But I'm not doing that. I'm not sacrificing my
No
hair.
way. I'm going to force you into this.
No,
We're at 92 likes. If we get 100, will you shave your head?
absolutely not.
Wow. Your lack of commitment to the show is stunning. Anyway, I don't think Mark should go there either.
No, he should.
He's got a
clip
nice
it.
head of hair. He's a really handsome
Which
kid.
is ironic. Clip that idea to not.
To not clip
clip
it.
his
Clip it
hair.
to not clip it.
That's right.
We're in some Tommy Gunn's Inception over here on the oil stream today.
Layers upon layers.
All right. Stuart Skinner has a better chance of making Team Canada than Evan Bouchard. Keep it or clip it. Skinner has the better chance.
Keep it.
Keep it.
Canada's goaltending is not good, and Evan Bouchard has been generally bad this season. And I think there's better defensemen overall.
Hey, Reed. That's a present for you guys.
Yes.
It's a mystery.
It says Santa. Can you read?
Yeah, Santa
Reed?
brought it for you guys. But you have to
Hi,
open
Reed.
it up on the show today because I'm not 100% sure what's in there. We had one guy guess the CFL tampering window. Yeah, that's a good one. Somebody else guessed. There was another really good guess. An actual big Blarney stone for all your limericks. So there's anyway. That'll be you guys can open that this afternoon. You want to hop on here, settle in, and then we'll throw a third chair in here. Hey, Maddie, you can set up
That'd
a
be
third
lovely.
mic.
Right there.
Oh, he just points at it.
He wasn't happy. When
Sorry, Maddie. I thought you didn't want me to be you invisible, right? Like,
We see you.
thanks, Matt. One more on Keep It or Clip It for Tommy
'Kay.
Guns. Christmas Vacation is the most must-watch Christmas movie every year. Or is there another one in the Gazzola household?
I'll clip it. I don't like Christmas Vacation.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding.
You don't even like it?
Not
I
really.
understand not watching it every year, but you don't like it. What's up with that? Why don't you like it? I'm just curious.
I think I don't hate it or anything, but if I want to watch a vacation movie, it's usually Vegas, then the original.
Vegas is good.
And then I have this soft spot in my heart for some reason
For European Vacation?
European Vacation, which is an awful movie. I don't know. I don't.
Tommy, don't lie. Tommy, don't lie.
She's cute. Okay. What does he call his wife?
Oh, sorry, Maddie. I'm moving your mouse. I want you to
She's
throw
beautiful.
Boston Pizza back up there.
He goes, she's cute at best.
And which one?
The other guys.
Oh, and the other guys. Yeah.
He's talking about his wife.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were
cute
still
at
talking about
best.
Christmas Vacation. I was like, what?
Oh,
All
no.
right, let's slide Reed Wilkins in here.
Get in.
Look at this three-man oil stream today. Reed was down at Commonwealth for the Mark Killam announcement, and we're gonna dive into that with Reed. Maybe get his thoughts on some of the comments here on Oil Stream today as well. Let's bring in Reed Wilkins. How you doing, buddy?
Well, first of all, Fringe was a very good television show.
I love Fringe, man.
The gentleman who played Walter.
He's the best.
The always taking hallucinogenic drugs and all the story, like a lot of those science fiction shows, the story got a little convoluted.
It got off the rails
and
a bit.
hard to follow. Like in that last scene, it's like, oh, it ended. Okay, but there was a lot of cool stuff and ideas for sure.
But Walter was fat. He was one of my favorite
fabulous.
characters
And
in
he's
TV.
I can't remember the actor's name, but he's one of those guys. If you look him up, he's in a lot of stuff. He's in one of the Lord of the Rings or all three. He's that
What?
He's that king that is all scared and wants to burn himself alive.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
I feel
him.
like I've never seen him anywhere else. But he never does anything as well as he did Walter.
No, he
in,
was fantastic.
I knew you'd like that show. Yeah, terrific
Totally
show.
clipping Kapanen staying in the top six.
Yeah.
I was shocked that would even be a topic, quite frankly. But
Hey man,
Why? He's
we got to
had
come up
two
with a
good
bunch
games.
of topics every day.
I think
Well, but no, we're talking when Arvidsson returns,
Yeah.
right? When Hyman returns, would you move.
Oh, when
when
Arvidsson returns.
Arvidsson returns, then they're kind of
But
healthy.
Hyman's back. What did they
If
say
Hyman-
today? Did they say anything yet today?
Nothing. I haven't seen
practice.
anything.
Yeah,
But if
there.
let's say Hyman returns tomorrow, would you bump Connor Brown back down, leave Kapanen where he is, play Hyman with Draisaitl?
No. Hyman's
Back with
Hyman's
McDavid?
with Nugent Hopkins.
Would you
and
play
McDavid.
Kapanen with Draisaitl?
I'd let it ride out.
No, I would leave Brown with. I would bump Kapanen down to the bottom six.
Down to the
Wow.
bottom
For sure.
six.
Yes. Is that
Well,
okay?
it's
So-
okay. Like when I said let it ride out, is because I don't foresee it lasting that long.
Well, they're not practicing until 2 Mountain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was earlier. So maybe we'll get up. We'll have updates during my show.
One of the other things we had here, my boy Marshall should become Buzzcut Kid.
I
Did-
used
did
to have
you do
like
Buzzcut?
all through kid and probably
Yeah.
started university. It was
just so
I would
easy.
just get it totally shaved off.
Yeah.
And then eventually I realized maybe I should start looking like an adult. So, but at university in the 90s, I was the classic parted in the middle.
No, you were.
Oh yeah.
I had that.
Oh, did you get those tips
like
frosted
everybody
too,
else.
or what?
I didn't do that till
Okay.
early 2000s.
But you did do
probably around the time I interviewed you.
Really?
Yes.
You had frosted tips and still didn't hire me? Unbelievable.
They might have
wow.
been gone by then, but I tried them. Well, because you got to deal with the hairstyling company in Lloyd.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
were just like, oh, you should
Mix
do
it up
this.
a
It's
bit, yeah.
popular. I'm like, okay.
So you
I
did
was
it.
like, okay.
I went to them.
Whatever.
My hairstyle has been the same for 43 years, except the time I grew up my afro and then the time when I graduated college and we decided it'd be fun for graduation to dye our hair like Eminem. So I had that for like 3 or 4 months. I'm not going to lie.
wow.
I think I rocked it.
Like
I feel like I
Eminem?
rocked it pretty good. Yeah. Like completely bleached blonde.
Are you finding a picture of yourself with blonde hair, Tom?
He's
No,
trying to
with a
find
buzz
when he
cut.
had a buzz cut
Oh,
when he
buzz
started
cut.
at.
In Lloyd,
Tommy, you have every picture from your entire life on your laptop?
I
What's going on here?
reluctantly went on Facebook.
Oh.
I hate
Oh, wow.
Facebook.
Yeah,
You don't
it's
go on
not- it's
Facebook
not good.
anymore since it's not cool to poke people anymore. That's why
Sure.
that's why you're not on Facebook.
I just
I
think
got-
it's dumb.
Hey Reed, how about
I go
this
to check
present?
birthdays. Well, it's obviously a TV.
Oh, there you are.
Oh wow, that looks
my
quite.
It's intimidating.
You look like a rugby player, actually.
Thank you.
That's what it is.
You look like you're on the Canadian U17 rugby team.
I was.
I thought I was going to say you look like you're some sort of
21
in a militia. But I think rugby player is
A
better.
militia.
I think rugby
The
player is
militia,
better.
Jack Reacher's coming to get you.
Hey there. Yeah.
Reed, what do you think of this present
I'm,
that was dropped off?
I'm quite shocked. I mean, it's obviously a television. I know there's jokes about
Who
other,
are you?
other
A
things,
Teef? A
but,
Teef gets television too?
But since the whole thing about our joke that you won't, well, half joke that you won't get us a TV in here, I like the nasties. I'm still learning about them, and still, by the way, probation's done, buddy.
I know.
I made
Welcome
it.
aboard.
All right.
Welcome aboard.
officially. That's
Tommy's
amazing.
trying to shake your hand over there.
Oh, sorry, Tom. So now.
That was the most forced
So now
handshake of all time.
You're a part of our crew.
Well, I didn't think you'd shake my hand right then. I mean, I think we were pretty sure it was going to.
I had a good feeling about it.
Man, that would have been a real dick move if I called you last week and was like, "Hey, man,
Sorry.
don't necessarily like the show."
It's good.
Don't even
kinda.
bother coming in for the last couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'll be fun on your show today. That's
Well,
for you
open that
guys,
up. Big
so.
news day. Elks coach and
Yes.
I think a new television that we'll have to
Yeah.
hook up. Yeah, that will be nice because we do want to have games on in here, especially
With the
5
early
o'clock
games and stuff,
Oilers
yeah.
play at 5 occasionally.
It does make sense. It does make
So it'll be
sense.
cool. And it's just proof. If you keep whining about something, sometimes you get your
A
way.
random will come in and, geez, so you got hired in TV with a haircut like that?
That's right.
That's almost bicked right down.
How old are you then?
21.
Wait,
Was that in Lloyd or where was
This
that?
was Nate.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, you had hair like that in
wait a
Nate.
second. You didn't hire Tom and Lloyd, did you, Reed?
No, Stacy Comer
No,
okay.
I did not work with Tom.
How would
Lloyd.
that be
I
a
hired
kick in the
Okay, so
balls?
now I can no longer say the guy I hired over you is still in broadcasting.
Oh, is he out now?
Kevin just left Global for a comms job.
They always do.
Yeah,
Right?
Now,
they
having
always
said
set
that,
out for a comms
he
job.
had a
That's
good
how it
run. He had a
works.
good run.
He did have a hell of a run.
That was Kevin Jesus?
Take that. I
Yeah, so
lasted
Kevin
longer.
Jesus had done his practicum, and then
In
the
Lloyd.
job got posted. So
That's
then
what
I
happened.
interviewed
Oh,
Kevin,
yeah.
Dustin, and 2 other people. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't
okay.
know
Do you
what they
remember
were
who the
doing.
other people were?
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Oh.
I don't know where they are.
They're not.
Johnny Glasgow?
No, he was. I didn't hire him, but then because he got hired to do news,
Right.
and then he became a sports guy.
At
So then he
CTV, and
Oh,
replaced
Johnny Glasgow.
So he
He's at
replaced
Newsmax
Slav.
in New
I
York.
know he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I unfriended him on Facebook.
He's gone full.
He's pretty hardcore. All right, so you were down there. We were
Yes.
all sitting over here watching. I was holding this football ready to run through a wall for Mark Killam. What did you take away from it?
Well, okay. First of all, people always they say the right things. So there should be excitement and optimism.
Yes.
I mean, if a coach or GM ever got hired, people are like, oh, that'd be a really bad sign. But he said the right things. I really enjoyed, and I'm guessing the listeners and fans will enjoy it, the things he specifically said about the city of Edmonton.
Yes.
And I liked what he said, that Edmonton has a chip on its shoulder, and we're going to play tough football. We're going to be ready to play in the cold
For the city.
for the city. I think that's that's important. I don't think someone, for example, like Chris Jones would ever say that, at least the same way. So now again, you still have to have talent. I do agree confidence and attitude and toughness and team unity are important, but you still have to have skill.
You got to have the ability.
You got to have skill, but you hope that if the Elks bring up their skill level, that they're even with some of the top teams. Maybe Mark Killam and his staff, the culture they build gives them that extra 2 or 3% that wins games or has you kicking the field goal on the last play instead of the other way around. But he was impressive. He was confident. I think kudos to him too for mentioning. I mean, once after he thanked ownership and Ed and Rick, he really went down the family road.
Oh yeah,
I like,
and he was
hearing
emotional about it. I really
Yeah,
like guys like that.
Maybe I'm a little sentimental, but I do think that that's important. I like to hear from people who are grounded in other areas and have things important to them away from the football stadium. I do think that's important. And now we see what they do, right? I mean, some of these things, it's also, ask me in a year, or I guess with this, ask me, middle of August, how if they're not 0-6 like they have been the last 2 years.
You imagine if this team wins one of their first 2 games, people are going to be going nuts.
Well, if they're not in last place by the middle of August. But I think the pluses for him are his knowledge of the CFL game. He understands Alberta. I mean, he's kind of lived in Edmonton and in Calgary and Lethbridge, obviously. And it is true what Ed said, because I was communicating with a former Stampeder this morning who said, like, guys love him. Guys love him. You could look on social media. Everybody.
I don't know if
loves
I've ever
this guy.
seen an outpouring in any league for former players being like, this is the guy. Like Singleton was just like, things are about to change. I'm just like, holy smokes. Like it's impressive.
Yeah. And I even appreciate that he acknowledged, he goes to the fans here, something has been taken away from you. And he meant that.
What do you think he meant there?
That he meant that you can go to the stadium and see a competitive, honest, hardworking team. Not a team that's going to not be sure who their quarterback is, or keep playing a bad quarterback, or keep employing an offensive coordinator that can't call plays. As much as I would say I want to win the Grey Cup every year, I think I'm mature enough to realize that that's not possible. But you can build a program like Winnipeg has done.
Sure.
Consistent contender.
That's at least consistently in games and isn't, playing a big game in Winnipeg and having it we had a watch party for that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 21-0 halfway through the first quarter?
I came in a cab. I got there. It was 14-0.
Yeah.
It was the middle of the first quarter. I was like, what happened?
It's awful.
Yeah, but that's, a team that's in every game, that plays hard, that plays for each other, that plays with respect. And, you go to the stadium as and I'm a season ticket holder too, thinking we might win today. Even a game in which you're an underdog, or the other team's probably more talented, but we might win today
because we're going to show up.
We got some playmakers. We're going to show up. We got a smart coach. We got a reliable.
That's probably where it
system
has to start, right, Reed? Like you have to, you get to that first, right? If you want, but in the CFL with free agency, you can turn things around rather quickly. But I think you need to have that identity to then build a winning culture.
And I think Chris Jones and the Elks in recent years showed that you can also do the opposite and go out and get big name free agents and throw money at them and go nowhere. You can get but you're right. If you need an impact signing, it is realistic in the CFL every offseason to go and find a guy.
Yeah. Well, for me, my goal for them would be, I guess, depending on the moves they make, my goal would be in the postseason.
Yep.
I'm not going to go from that they should go from being in 4th and 5th place to a Grey Cup contender, though, again, you never know. But now we see what Ed does, and now we see what happens with the quarterback.
Coordinators too,
and coordinators too.
Yeah.
You got the best head coaches usually have really solid coordinators that they're all on the same page with
Yeah.
as well. But his remarks today were quite good.
Yeah, no, I was pretty
Quite
encouraged
good.
by it. I think everybody was. All right, what's coming up on your show today from 3 to 6?
Well, we got Mark Killam on.
'Kay.
I believe he's scheduled for about 3:20.
Excellent.
So we'll have a lot of discussion and listener reaction to that. I guess we'll get Oilers updates probably during the show, given it
Yep.
2
Later,
o'clock
yeah,
practice,
later
so
day,
we'll
yeah.
be able to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about some of the brawls in football over the weekend.
Everybody's angry, yeah.
I actually watched the fourth quarter of Michigan-Ohio State.
Yeah, I watched the second half of the fourth quarter. Yeah.
Okay.
Ohio State was awful on offense.
Yeah.
Like, I was stunned that they were, what were they, number 2 going into that game? Number
Yeah, they
4,
did
something like
not
that?
deserve any better than they got in that game.
They deserve to have Michigan's flag planted.
No,
on their
that's got to
logo
go. That stuff.
it's getting silly.
That's getting silly.
in NCAA.
And I think Glue Guy made a brisket, so we usually talk about
Is that what I'm smelling when he came in here?
And
Did
we'll-
he bring some?
I was smelling something. I thought it was tuna.
I don't know if he brought any or not. And I guess we'll open the
Open your present.
maybe not a TV, but obviously is a TV. Now, if it's not
You
a
know
TV,
what?
I'm going to feel really stupid.
If
maybe
you-
it's a ColecoVision.
If you open that up and it is the CFL tampering window, please call me immediately. I got to see what that looks like. That would be terrific. ESC Afternoons is coming up here with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. Stick around for that. If you're watching on YouTube, just turn on autoplay. It'll take you right on over. They're going to get fired up here at 1 o'clock today. Hammer the thumbs up for us before we take off. Shout out to Reed for coming back from Commonwealth and hopping on here as well. I will be back with the Nielsen Show tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. More reaction to the Mark Killam hiring and, of course, getting ready for the Oilers and the Golden Knights. That's going to do it for the Oil Stream. Shout out to our presenting sponsor, Boston Pizza.